Hi everybody, today you're going to learn how to do a dynamic mockup with Photoshop program. This graphic is so useful in order to show your final web in presentations or just to show movement graphics. Here we have an example like the result that we are going to achieve. This is an example about one mockup. Are you ready? So let's start. First of all, we have to get into Photoshop. In this case, we are using the last version. Also, we need a mockup in PSD format. You can get this in so many pages like Behance, Graphic Burger, Mockup World, etc. If you know how to use this program, you should know that it works with layers that are situated in the right side of the menu, and this is how we are going to work with all the composition. To be more easily, we are going to film the screen of the web that we want to show through the mockup. We are going to use a MacBook because it's more clear, but if you do with an iPad, it's more appropriate. On the other hand, we already have the iPhone film and we have exported to our MacBook. To show you this example, we have chosen the web of Sarah Spain. So we are going to film all the web or only what is interesting to show. When we already have the video recorded, we have to prove that the video has been kept in our desk, and then we import it in Photoshop. After that, we have to adapt the size in accordance with the iPad. We can adapt it with the cursor or selecting Shift and modifying the layer with more precision, like this. Immediately, we go to the layers and we insert the layer of Sarah inside the layer that represents the iPad screen to have it inside. To do that, we have to press Ctrl on the layer at what we want to insert, and we finally adjust. When we have done it, as we can see on the screen, we have to return on the tab of layers, and we do double click on the layer of the web record. Consequently, another page of Photoshop is going to be open next to the page that we are working. Then we go to the window and we do click on timeline, and if we click play, we open the video that we inserted previously. Now we have to close the lab, and it's so important to keep it if we want that appears in the mockup on that we are working. Before doing something else, we have to repeat the process with the mobile record that we have to keep in the desktop. Additionally, we insert the video, we adjust with the cursor selecting Shift, and with the cursor we mold and adapt the mockup of the iPhone. We have to see that all is as more adjusted as possible. Then we go to the layers and we insert this layer inside one who represents the iPhone screen. To do that, we have to click Ctrl and selecting the layer what we want to insert. We do double click on the layer of the record and the page is going to be open. We have to repeat the process, window, timeline, and we see that the video of Sarah e-commerce is open in a smartphone version. We have to go out and save it. It's so important to save always the process. We return on the original tab and we begin the timeline here. Consequently, we can visualize inside the iPhone and iPad mockups. We have to adjust the screen if we want to retouch. So now we can see the movement inside all the mockup that we have. Now we only have to retouch the montage to be more accurate. If we open a little bit the lab with the timeline, we are going to work better. As you can see, here it appears the layers because the idea is that it stays there during all the record, because the video could be as long as you want. So we open all the layers and we extend during all the e-commerce videos. It's so important to repeat this process with all the layers, because if we don't do that, they are going to disappear during the video and the composition of the mockup it will be logic. And we do the same with all the other layers. Finally, we return to the main lab in the right menu to modify the composition. For example, if you want to take off the shadows, insert light or something else, here is where you can do it. In this case, it's a mockup that comes to it. We only have to hide some layers on the red, yellow and orange eye that appears on the back, but isn't the case. I like in this form because it seems real and brilliant. In case that you prefer a mockup without nothing back, you can only have to take off the background and it's going to be ready to save and export. So here we have the final result. In this case it's perfect because it's so important to check it. So we forgot to extend some labs on the timeline and this mistake could ruin all the project. You always have to check it before export it. Now we are extending some labs on the timeline for a better composition of our mockup. And when we finish that, we are going to export it in video format. First we have to extend like this, and now we only have to save it and export it in video format. Then we go to File, Save As. In this case we are going to save in desktop. As you can see on the screen, we click Save and we put on our desktop. Obviously you can save wherever you want. After save it, we have to export it. So we return to the file, export and interpret video. We export with the established conditions because the quality of the video is okay. We have to select interpret. The exportations of the mockups, it's so slowly because of the duration of this. When it's exported, we can see that the video appears in the desktop and we can see the result of our mockup. And this is our video tutorial.